Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I know it's been a while. It's been 3 weeks. I've been out of commission, but we are back to dealing with creating, writing, making your own adventures. And I have something prepared for you today. This time, I have, again, taken the suggestions of a patron, a subscriber, a supporter of the channel, and we are using their idea, their map, and we're gonna deal with an ETTIN today. It'll be interesting. I am hoping, very much hoping that everything is working correctly at the other end of YouTube, because it's been a while and live streaming in 4K is always a little bit nerve-wracking. So yeah, just bear with me as I just make sure that everything is in fact doing the things that it's supposed to be doing. I am not entirely sure that it is, but we're certainly hoping that it is. Okay. Anyway, now that we're into it, it seems like we're here. So let's go straight into the topic and get on with things. Okay. All right. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about how to make, write, create your own adventure, and we're going to use an ETTIN lair, an ETTIN cave lair. The map has been provided by one of the patrons, and I have gone through and taken that map. I've numbered it so it's easy to follow, and we're going to fill out each location with a description. Monsters, traps, maybe puzzles, maybe not, hazards, NPCs, treasure, of course. You know, all those sorts of things that we think might be appropriate for a location like this. I would like to point out that this one has 3 entry points. Entry point 1, 2, and 3. So there's 3 ways of getting in and 3 ways of getting out. And this is to give you choice. There are multiple routes within it, and it's just about now figuring out how to sort of build it all out. Now, so I'm going to put up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. I'm going to put forward a suggestion, a question for you, and that question for today is like, is this a lair for one ETTIN? Or is it a lair for a family of ETTINs or a clan of ETTINs? Like, whose lair is it? And why would our players be going there? That's really the big question. Like, okay, so hashtag whose. Here we go. Whose. Hello, Dungeons and Chronics. Welcome back. Glad to have you here. Whose ETTIN lair is it? Solo ETTIN, family or clan, and our next question, it goes kind of with this, is like, why would the characters go here? Now, we don't have to answer that question straight away, but we do need to have an idea of whether we're going solo ETTIN, family clan cave, family cave, or clan cave, okay? So that would be the first thing I would suggest to you. Now, I've done some homework so that if you guys get stuck, I can fill in gaps, and I will be doing that. So my suggestion is pick a number on the map, and then from that number, decide what its description is. That's probably the key thing. 1 sentence is enough. I can do the rest. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to type in a novel or anything like that. So hashtag area number. So give me the area number where you want to place it. And then we want description. Keep it short and simple. We want things like our hazards, traps, what else? Hazards, traps, monsters, maybe a puzzle. I don't know. I don't know that necessarily this is a place where we want to have a puzzle today. And treasure. Oh, NPCs. Can't forget that. Somebody we can talk to. Somebody who isn't just definitely set out as being even the monsters you can talk to, right? But not necessarily a combat. But we want to definitely have some places where they're not a combatant, so fighting them would be pointless, other than to be a murder hobo for our players to sort of butcher. So that is the breakdown. Okay, so that is what we've got for today. I have a Google document which I'll be using. I'm going to be working, so I actually put this up onto my Discord. So for those of you who are wondering, do I have, can you access the map? Yes, you can. That's not a problem. So I will put a link up to my Discord so you can find that link. It's under the Adventure Design section. The Discord is not primarily for what's the word? Patrons. If you're interested in checking it out and hanging out and seeing what we're doing there, you can. Right? If you don't, you don't. Now, Dave's mapper is the mapper I normally use, but in this case, Fred Huber, patron, is providing the map. He's used a different piece of software today, but I'll put up a link to Dave's mapper. Very quick, so you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how to create, draw your own map. If you don't want to do that, you can just use a tiled system. Okay, you just move the tiles around. Okay. So that's all there. Let's get on to the next step, which I believe is going through the adventure. Area 1 and 2 are entry points. I can actually deal with a lot of that. If you don't want to deal with the entry points, it doesn't seem that exciting. That's all good. No problems. I can deal with that. I've done that before. I'll do it again. And so I just need to share a link to my Google Doc. And we'll be jumping between these two screens today. And I will just make sure my head is just a little teeny-weeny bit bigger. In this case, it doesn't have to be that big actually, Fred. Just a teeny-weeny bit bigger. There we go. All right. So we're ready. Let's have a look. So the first entry point. The first entry point is pretty basic. It's got a room to it. Area 2 is larger, and Area 3 is about the same as Area 1, and same sort of juncture points. It's a crossroads almost. Okay, all right. What would you normally have in the front of an ETTIN lair? So once you guys are figuring out, whether you want to have this be a solo, family, or whatever, you tell me. I have prepared. Yesterday I was doing some homework. I do homework, people, on these things. I make sure. So we're going to barricade one end, or partly barricade one end, I think. I think that would be a fun thing to do. It's just about whether we want it to be, what's the word? I'm just thinking. Do we want it to be an area that's a big area or a small area? I think we'll take an area that is easy to barricade. I feel like Area 3 is pretty easy to barricade, so we'll go with Area 3. So we'll place it there. And I'm pasting this. And I'm going to mark this as rear entrance. Rear entrance. Barricaded entrance might be a bit more sensible, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, let's go with barricaded. Barricaded entrance, and the opening is 8 now. Let's just move this across. Just bear with me. For some reason, I'm having trouble moving this around, and I don't know why. The opening is a natural cave with large boulders arranged to create a crude barricade. Yep, moss and bones cover the floor, and the air reeks of rotting meat. Yep, that's all fine. I don't really think that's a big problem. I know, as I said, I know that most of you are not particularly excited about describing entry points, and that's all cool. Why can I not see this mouse head? It's not showing up as well as there we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. bold, underline, bold, underline. I don't know what else to put there. I don't know if we necessarily have to have anything else other than that. Something you can find and use. I'll just mark as treasure. I don't know what that will be. And we'll bold that. Okay, bold. Cool. So that's my first contribution. Let's have a look and see what you guys have come up with in the chat. So, if I have a look. Hello, Nacho Nacho, Wizards and Warp Drives, patron of the channel and also subscriber. Thanks for hanging out, mate. Got any ideas? Yes, I am back. Maybe I've gone so long that people have forgot that I actually do this sort of thing. I suppose it's possible. It is a weird thing. Now, why am I not? I'm not live streaming in 4K. That's weird. Normally I am. You're watching at dentist in the waiting room. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, that's a rough deal. All right. So we've got no ideas coming through so far. So we're going to go over and do the next thing, which is deal with another entry point. We've got a small one, area 1, and a large one, area 2. Okay, all right. So let's just transition over. And 1 and 2, I think I'd put another one together, a narrow opening. Let's make that area 1. Cut. And we'll put that there. Paste. A narrow opening in the mountainside reveals a dark cave opening. A dark cave. No, well, we're saying I say opening twice in the same sentence. That's why I didn't put that there, didn't it? That'll be with reason. Bones are scattered around and the stench of rotting meat fills the air. So we've got rotten meat again. That's not going to be necessary. Just scattered around. Moss and bones is fine. We've got bones again. It's kind of the same sort of thing. I don't even know if we need to even have that. Let's just trim this. Covers the floor. Well, I don't know why I'm having so much trouble. This covers the floor. Covers the floor. This mouse has been giving me a lot of trouble. Covers the floor, and oh, come on! Got to be kidding. Sorry, people. I'm really the mouse is just not showing up for it, and smells of decay. Yep, that's fine. That's a little bit different. Bones scattering around and the stench of rotting meat fills the air. So that differentiates it a little bit. The problem with cave entrances, if you do enough adventures, like how many times can you describe a cave entrance before it just winds up being the same thing? Do you know what I mean? And this is one of my little problems. I've got to do something about this mouse. This mouse head, I need to be able to see clearly when I'm here. Otherwise, I'm constantly trying to look for it. Treasure. Okay, don't know what that treasure is going to be, but it doesn't matter. And there, bold. Okay, there's another entrance. And we'll do number 2 if you guys don't come up with anything. I guess. I haven't put any monsters in here. You guys are going to have to put the monsters in here and the hazards and stuff like that. I'm not going to do that. I'm fine sitting here writing up all of the, the descriptions if that's what you want. But yeah, come on, throw in a suggestion. You can't really go wrong. It's just an idea. I often incorporate everybody's ideas. So what have we got here? Have you made an adventure about an ETTIN cave for your tabletop role-playing games? No, 50%. Okay, yes. 25%. I didn't realise how many people have voted for. Okay, and just watching 25. Okay, all right. So this is maybe a new experience. Something that you, okay, all right. Let's, well, I will do another one. I'll fill in another location. Let's try to work with the stuff near the beginning. We've got a large chamber in 2. So I could jump across and pick something for 2. That might work. What do we got here? Well, I suppose it could be a guard post. Do we want to have a guard post? That's the question. I don't know that that's necessarily what we're after, because nobody's decided whether we want to have a solo or a family or a clan, or, you know, are there other creatures? Should there even be goblins here, or do the ETTIN just eat the goblins? So goblin cave, goblin outpost, green, yeah, that's not necessarily going to be a thing. Collapsed bridge, not really. I can't think of anything that sort of works with that. The forge cage, the minotaur's den, if you want to have a spider cave. We could include a spider cave near the entrance. Now the reason being is caves tend to have spiders at the entry point of a cave, so that they can catch birds and other things. Because often animals don't, you know, the smaller animals don't venture far enough. So even if you're dealing with small spiders, they need the insects to actually get stuck in the webbing, right? So you would have them closer to the entry point rather than deeper into the cave. And if you're dealing with larger creatures like birds and so forth, because you're dealing with giant spiders, then that's a different thing again. But again, the same philosophy follows. So we'll go with cut, and we'll put that over here. Really, really basic, simple ideas when you're designing stuff, but I mean, I've explained this stuff before. So we'll put in a spider cabin. Yeah, spider cabin. It's big enough to be considered a cabin. Let's do that. Thick webs drape across the walls of the cave, and strange chittering sounds can be heard in the shadows. So we're definitely foreshadowed. Okay. Yeah, and I think we can establish there are definitely going to be monsters here. Monsters. Giant spiders hide in the webbing on the ceiling, and attack anyone caught in the webs. Pretty simple, not a very complicated thing to do. For those of you who are wondering why I do this to encourage you to make your own adventures, that you can probably get it done rather than sitting down there for an hour or two reading a pre-made adventure. You can probably make your own thing, and the great thing about making your own adventure is it's yours. You own it. You didn't have to pay for it. The other great thing is that you don't have to try to remember everything because you created it, so you're probably going to remember it. Do you know what I mean? Right, so we're 20 minutes in, and we've got 3 locations, and we've got to have, I think it's actually going to be 13 locations, not 14. So we're doing pretty well. Let's go back and see if we've got anything in chat. And ta-da, back we go. Let's have a look. I'm a little upset that I haven't been able to broadcast in 4K. That is frustrating. But I just, yeah, I'm not too sure why that is the case. I'm sure I set everything up properly. Anyway, hashtag what monsters are in this cave lair, not including the ETTIN. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's see how we go. Any ideas? No? Yes? I do hope so. Everybody's very quiet today. It's very unnerving. Dear. Okay, let's have a look. So next, we have some locations. We probably need to have a couple of areas that are sort of central to the ETTIN. Number 6 and number 8 feel, and even number 9 feel like they're major cave locations. Even number 7, where we might have, you know, a community in here. They seem like they would be reasonably sensible places to stick things. So maybe we can do something with that. 7, 6, 8, 9. I'll just make a note of that on my hand. 7, 6, 8, and 9. They're big enough caves that we could put an ETTIN in here. So maybe I will at least put a description, and then maybe somebody will come up with some ideas from there. Okay, all right. Let's have a look. No. We looked at that before. The ETTIN chamber. ETTIN chamber. An ETTIN cave. We just call it an ETTIN cave. The walls, the cave walls are scratched with crude stick figures, with piles of straw scattered across the ground. And I think the idea behind that is that we are dealing with a sleeping quarter area, or a sleeping area of some kind. So let's include that being a major area. It's just about which area would it best to make it. I feel like the 6 would be the cooking cave or the feeding cave, because it's closer to an entry point. And maybe 7 or 8. They're pretty big areas. They could be sleeping quarter areas. Maybe in the living quarter areas would be better to have that. We make it 9. 9's not a bad choice either. So, well, let's make it 8 for now. Let's make it 8. It's a sort of a central cave sleeping area. Okay, all right. Number 8. And paste this. The ETTIN. So, can I find the thing? Oh, there we go. There it is. Okay. I will just call this the sleeping cave. So the cave walls are scratched with crude stick figures, some figure drawings, scratched with, no, go away. Cave walls are scratched with crude stick figure drawings and piles of straw are scattered across the ground. That gives us a basic sort of structure for our area. And then let's add in some, what would be interesting here? Well, animal skins. You're probably going to have some sort of animal skin. Okay, so let's go with large animal pelts and skins and hides. Hides are clustered in into beds. Okay. I don't know if we necessarily have monsters here or not. Nobody's wanted to say anything so far. It feels quiet. It's like I'm on my own. I'm on my own again. And we'll go bold underline. If you guys are wondering why I'm formatting as I go, it is so that I don't wind up doing it later. Monsters, I don't know if we're going to have monsters here or not. It's a question mark, but we could. Doesn't necessarily have to be, could be just NPCs. Maybe we're just all about talking. Maybe this is an adventure where you don't kill anything. Yeah, just talk to everybody. Okay, so that's that one. Sleeping cave. What else can we do? I feel like we were definitely talking about a cooking cave of some kind, and I almost feel like 6 is definitely the best choice for that. So I'm pretty sure I have something about, did I call it the feeding cave, or just call it the cooking cave? I can't remember. Here, feeding cave, here we go. Let's cut this. The feeding cave, and we'll make that number 6. Yep, number 6. If I can find number 6, here we go, and paste. And we'll just call it the cooking cave. Cave. Bones, torn clothing, and half-eaten carcass. This cavern, scratched into the walls are tally marks. We need to actually indicate that there's a fire of some kind here. A large open fire. Do we want it to be currently going? I think we have it out. A large open fire pit. It's probably, yeah, fire pit with piles of wood are nearby. Pretty simple. Cooking cave. All right. Bold, underline, bold, underline. Is nearby. Do we want an NPC? Do we want a monster? I don't know. NPC, monster. I don't know. I'm just going to put NPC for now, and you'll let me know if that's not going to work. Or here we go. I'm rather annoyed. It still bugs me that I can't live stream in 4K, and I spent all that time setting it up, like a good chunk of a day, if not the whole day, just so I could do that and get back to doing the 4K. The machine's capable. Okay, so we've done that. We're doing all right. We've got a few things going on. Let's go back to chat and see if we've got some life. Is there some life in the chat here? An owlbear. Now, I believe, and I forgot this, I believe that Fred Huber had suggested a owlbear be in here. Now the question is, where is a suitable place for an owlbear to be? And maybe 9 is where the owlbear is. Is it an owlbear that the I guess the ETTIN is using as like a pet or a guard or something like that? We could make that number 9. That wouldn't be a stupid idea. That would be a reasonable idea, I think. Area 7 could be a living area. I don't know what we would put there necessarily, but we could put something there. So yeah, that's definitely. Let's consider making some sort of owlbear lair or owlbear cave. And number 9, my general feeling is a pretty good place to put it. 7. Okay, so let's see if we can jump back over to there. Interesting. Still unsure as to what is going on here, but anyway. So I think about this again. Let's go here and let's stick in. I said number 9, didn't I? Area 9. Owlbear. Let us put our owlbear in there. Do I have anything for an owlbear? I think I actually stuffed up and I wound up making a minotaur's den. I don't know why. And a chimera pit. Now, let's forget about that. let's make this an owl bear. Owl bear nest, I guess. Why would it be chained? I don't know. We've pretty much got to create a completely new cabin for this, for it to work. Something that would be interesting, and I am probably going to have to write it from scratch. Is there anything I can repurpose? Anything I can repurpose? Trophy heads. Almost feel like, oops, what did I do? God, I hope I didn't just delete that. Let's undo that again. Cut. And I think I'm going to stick that in a 7. I wasn't too sure what to do with 7. But I'm pretty sure 7 will be fine with that. Where are we? Yeah. Big large area, trophy cave. Okay, so let's do that. And bold, underline. Bold, underline. So heads of humanoids and beasts line the walls. Bones litter the floor, because there's going to be a lot of bones around here. And a pile of rusted weapons lies in a corner. So let's go here. Treasure. Don't know what treasure we're going to have. I'm not too sure at this point. We'll go bold. And I believe... Did I assign 8 already? Oh, this mouse. Here we go. Did I assign it? I'm pretty sure I assigned 8 already. It was like a sleeping cave. 9 is supposed to be a... Yeah, 9 is supposed to be the owl bear, isn't it? So we get rid of that. We go here. We go back here. And we go owl bear. Owl bear nest. And we need to have some sort of description of what an owl bear nest would be. Wow. I haven't really had to describe an owl bear nest before. This is probably the first time. Is it the first time? I can't remember. Honestly, don't remember at all. Let's find something that would be close to what we want. Poison rat nests, owl bear nests. No. We've got a lot of things being chained up. An angry, echo cave, war cave, shaman's flooded cave, bone pit. Well, prison vines. Let's take this one. Oh, did it again. It's this mouse. I need to replace the mouse, don't I? Okay. The bone pit. We've got so many bones going on here. I think we need to adjust this. So let's go here, put something there like that. Paste. Have you decided sort of, you know, have we decided sort of, is it a family? Is there just one owl bear? Is there 2 owl bears and some cubs? I'm thinking that it would probably be, do you know, if anything, it actually probably makes more sense that it is chained up. Correct? We could actually, that actually makes far more sense if I use the thing owl bear nest, it's even angry and it's been chained. That actually makes far more sense by using that one there. And 1 owl bear is probably more than sufficient. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we've got something. You guys have seen a few of the little descriptions and ideas that I had. So feel free to just pick one, and I'll stick it in. We're running out of space now. We're filling it up. A deep now. a deep, let's make this a pit that is deep enough to be a problem. What would be hard for an owlbear to climb out of? 30 feet is probably quite deep. A 30 foot deep pit. Filled with piles of bones and feathers. Litter the bottom. Let's go here. Angry. Let's go with a large angry feather covered creature on 4 legs. A large, angry, feather-covered creature on 4 legs. Feather-covered creature with the head of a bird on 4 legs. Is chained. Is chained to a spike into a post, iron post driven into the ground. Okay. See if we can get this all sorted. Yes, a bird. So we have established our nest, and I think we have. It's not really a nest because it's only got one owlbear in it, so it's making. It's an owlbear pit, and we're going to go monster. 1 adult owlbear is kept by the Ettins to guard the cave, hunt and as entertainment. 1 adult owlbear is kept by the Ettins to guard the cave, hunt, and as entertainment. Owlbear eats anyone who enters the pit. Let's go with unless it is fed first. Okay, and we want some treasure. I don't know, you're going to find some leftover bits and pieces that maybe haven't been scrounged by the Ettins, so let's put that there. I don't know what that treasure might be. Fed first. So we have a monster, we have how it's going to operate. We've got a little bit of information on what's going on. We know how it's going to interact with our player characters, which is always important to have and include. We've done that. Dun dun dun. So we've got area 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, and 13 left to go. Bum bum bum. I don't know. We're doing all right. Seems all right to me. Let's have a look and see what chat has to say. Okay. Now we've got albeit we've got no more ideas coming through, so I guess like I guess I'm doing most of the work today. I'm guessing that the concept of an ETTIN is not high on people's priority, but that's all right. Hashtag suggest some ideas for the ETTIN lair. All right, people. Throw some ideas out and see what you get. Okay. Moving on. Let's go with a. What is the next thing that I want to do? I want an area that's large, near an. It probably needs to be near something. 12 is a large area. 12 is definitely a large area that we could use. What else did I have here? Do we include like a shaman's den? I think we do that. Let's put a shaman's den in. And let's make it a large area. Maybe not too large. Maybe we'll make it. It's only for one it's only one ETTIN, right? So it doesn't have to be the biggest cave. How advanced is our ETTIN complex anyway? It probably should be not too close to something that is a problem. I've already done. We could make it 5. I could make it 4. It's very close to the spiders. I don't know if I want to put the shaman so close to where the spiders are situated. 5's not a bad place to stick it. Even 12 might be a good place. 5 and 12. 5, but possibly 12. So what's near 5 and 12? Well, spiders, fire, and number 2, barricaded area. Probably not going to be too much of a problem. I think we can probably get away with going with the barricaded entrance area. So it could be a larger area. It doesn't have to be a smaller area. It could be much larger. All right, let's go with 11. Let's fill it out at 11. Let's put it in 11. So we'll put that there. I think we need to have an NPC. I'm hoping that this shaman is not too hungry. Let's go here with bold. Underline. A smoky cave is filled with strange wooden totems and animal pelts are on the ground. Skins. Yep, that's fine. So let's put in something like incense or do we want candles? Yeah. Few incense are burning near a bronze brazier. The center of the cave. So we've established this. We need an NPC. We don't know what the NPC is, but it needs to be a shaman, so let's go in ETTIN. Shaman called. And we need some information on that. Let's go with treasure, things that they could take. Might not be gold, but it could be anything else. I'm not going to try making up a name right now, but we will at least do that. So we need a bit more information on a ETTIN shaman. And at this point, since we haven't really established that this is a solo cave or a clan cave, I feel like the way we're going, it's going to probably have more than one ETTIN in here, at least a family. I'm getting the distinct feeling. It's a large place, so it's probably occupied by more than one, right? Okay, so we got the shaman's den, and let's include something else. What have I not done? I haven't done something that's filled with vines for a while. That means we can put things like assassin vines in there, or strangled vines, or some sort of creature that is vine-like. That would be, I think that would be an interesting way to go. So let's go with this. Cut. Where do we place it though? I'm tempted to place it between the entrance 1 and entrance 2, because it's a big cave, but it sort of blocks off to a certain degree the spiders, at least to that location. I don't think they're going to mess with an owlbear, and I don't think they're going to mess with whatever's in area 8. So we could do that. We could make it a small location. It could just be 13. We could just put that there. Vines could be in 13. So I think, yeah, let's go with 13. Let's go with 4. Let's go with 4. Let's fill out the beginning of this thing. Let's go with 4. We'll put vines in here. It gives you a few options in terms of things you can put in there. A vine cave. Bold. Underline. Thick green vines grow along the cave walls and ground, exuding a sickly sweet smell. I would like to do more. Thick green vines grow along the cave walls and ground, exuding air. So hanging from the ceiling are let's say what's a nice thing? How do we describe this? Hanging from the ceiling are black and green roots. Let's put roots in here. Roots hanging from the ceiling are black and green roots. Roots dripping with something. Let's go with yellow. Dripping with yellow sap. All right, that's what I want to do. So now I want to put a monster here, and I don't know how many. Let's just go a few. What? Assassin vine. Plant creatures. are hiding in the roots and vines. What's this? Draping. From the roof. From the cave roof. Okay. So we've got that. It's a monster. We need to have a response. Anyone disturbing the assassin vines is attacked and strangled. Attacked and strangled, and then we want some treasure here. Something they can pick up. Doesn't need to be gold or magic items. It just needs to be something. For those of you who are wondering why I always include a treasure section, it's the same reason why I always include for every location a description. Because that's the first thing that your players are going to need is a description. You don't have to always have a monster or an NPC, but you always need to have a description. And my view has always been you always need to give them something to find. It might be they find an old rusty nail. It could be as simple as that, but always give them something they can find, and then they decide if they think it's useful or not and how they would go about using it. That has always been my sort of a philosophy regarding treasure, is try to always include something. And if it can fit the area, great. If it doesn't, not so great. But anyway, it's all right. We'll keep going. So, okay. So this is interesting. Oh, here we go. Derp. Hello, Derp. Welcome. So glad to see you. So glad to have some input. I was getting a little bit worried. I felt like I was still alone. I'm a lonely person writing an adventure. 5. Is this section there is a jar of dead moths? Okay. Area 5. I haven't done Area 5. And in this section there is a jar of dead moths. Let's take that. I will take that as a suggestion. Absolutely. I don't know what the dead moths are for. I have no idea. But we'll definitely include it. Let's stick it in. Oh, not onto suggestions. We're still editing, thank you very much. And let's just drop that into there. Paste it. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't move it around. Okay, right. Okay, so we have Area 5. I just need something that's suitable for Area 5, but we have at least, I consider that treasure. So I'll just write that up. Okay, so let's take you back to the other screen. And if I can just, man, that mouse is giving me so much trouble. Here we go. Back we go. Back we go. We're over here. So we need Area 5 to be something, and it needs to have, make sense that we have moths here. Right. It's the last of my tea, so hopefully I'm fully awake. Green tea, people, green tea. I am doing my best. Okay, so we want something that's going to be related, but interesting. we've had so many mushroom caves. I don't really necessarily want to stick that in if I can help it. A rat nest. I can live having rat nests. That's all right. Echo caves. God, we have so much echoing stuff. It's not funny. A flooded cave is nice. Bone pits, crystal caves. Oh, we've done that kind of before. A prison cave. This is a potential. This is an opportunity to include non-player characters. We can have a battered human in there, somebody they can talk to, somebody they can rescue from an ETTIN. And the best location for that, let's have a look. Where would be the best location for that so far? Is it Area 5? It might well be. Area 5 is a fairly large location. Area 12 is a fairly large location. I think we go with Area 5. I feel like Area 12 could be potentially anything. But I do think that Area 5 is, yeah, I like the idea of putting it there. It's close to the entrance. It's not too deep. Selecting an area is always an interesting process, I've discovered. Area 10, barricaded, putting it there. That's not a bad place too, so 5 would be something else. Because the jar in 5 sort of suggests there's something else going on, right? So let's make the selection. Let's make it 12 because that's a big area. Oh, geez, it is hard to decide. Area 12 could be all sorts of different things. There's so many different possibilities. 10, 12, there. No, I think we'll make it 12. Let's make it 12. I mean, in the end, positioning is not going to be the end of the world. Well, we can move things around if we need to. So let's go here. The prison cave. So I'm going to leave Area 5. Derp is a patron and a subscriber. I'm going to leave that to see if you want to build that out some more. Otherwise, I'll do something with it. Don't you worry. But I have marked down at least your treasure idea. Okay, so it's there. And the jar of moths. Or is this room supposed to just be completely empty apart from just a jar of moths? That would be interesting. that would certainly throw a spanner in the works in terms of people being a bit confused as to what's going on here. So let's go with bold underline. Rusted iron cages line one wall. Inside one cage is a battered humanoid sleeping. Who is chained. Come on. You wouldn't know that they are weak. Sleeping. Who is chained at the feet and hands. Okay, so that's our description. Sweet. We don't really have to have anything else. Now it's more about, do we need to have a guard here? I don't necessarily feel like there needs to be proper guards set up in this place. That end of the complex of caves is actually barricaded off, so it's like you could get out, but getting in is going to be hard. So, and I guess ETTINs would probably find it easier to get out than something else. Let's go with an NPC. It's got to be I don't know who its name is going to be. Is it a he? Is it a she? Could be anything. We haven't stipulated that. Treasure. What that treasure might be. If there's anything that they can take. Maybe it's just simple as just manacles. Like you can reuse the manacles. Well done. All right, so let's go there. All right, so we've got a little bit more. How are we doing? We're up to an hour, so we're halfway through. We've got area 3, 13, 10, and really area 5 to do. We still need to have some adventure hooks and some general features of the cabin, but I don't think that's necessarily a big issue, if anything. So let's see what chat has to say before I drop on another one. And I've had to do a lot of work today. Whew. This is the problem when you're gone for a week. Everybody just assumes that it's not going to happen, right? So they kind of forget that pattern. It takes a little while. But that's all right. We'll get back into the swing eventually. Here we go. Oh, look, we've got Derp and we've got Overboard. Hello, Overboard. Overboard is a subscriber and a moderator. Thanks for being here. So Dungeons and Chronics looks like you've had to go. I'll see you later. Derp. So what is your suggestion here? You've got here, every few games it is going to put something absurd with radical reason, with no rational reason for it, and see what the players do with it. So what Derp is suggesting, can't do it in every game, but it's a good occasionally. So one of the things that I was talking to Derp about the other day is I always tend to include a key. So, you know, the key might look like a key, it might not look like a key, but it's still a key. And that key opens nothing in the adventure location. It is there to deal with when I need a key for a particular reason. I will use those keys to help link this adventure to another adventure later on. So they find things that are related to different adventures. Now, it's not that I've taken, if I create, like, for example, a wooden key, you know, it's made of wood, it looks like a key, it's shaped like a key, and it's made of mahogany or something like that. It's not that I have planned out that that mahogany key, wooden key, is going to be used in the next adventure or even the adventure after that. What I do is I've created it, and then I can go back, and when I've run an adventure, I think, okay, I need a key. Is there a key from a previous adventure that I could use for something that I'm dealing with whatever I'm creating later on? So it's a nice way of solving the problem of I need a key to deal with a lock or a problem that the players have to solve that they might already have the solution to if they have remembered to pick up that key and put it in their pack. So I always make sure I give a really good detailed description of that key so that I can reuse them. It's a sneaky way of doing it. It looks like you've pre-planned your entire campaign to doing this, and I have not done that at all. It is just one of those things that I do. But yes, no, Derp, we can do that. That cave we might make that just a really simple cave that, you know, and make it almost, it's out of place in some way. So I'm going to put in another prompt. I'm going to apologize. I did try really hard to get to, the live stream to come out in 4K, and I don't know what it is. It's got to be OBS. OBS does strange things. It's got to be YouTube as well. I thought it would be just anyway, I'll fix it at some point. I'll go back and see if I can sort it out for tomorrow. So, what creatures and monsters are in the ETTIN lair? Let's ask that question again. And I'll fill in a new location. How's that sound? Deal with that again. It is so strange. So strange. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Here we go. Switching over to water. Next. 13 and 10. And I've got to deal with area 5. I feel like I should deal with area 5 first. So what do I want area 5 to be? something that would make sense, something that we haven't used, something that would work here. I don't think putting a minotaur in this lair is a very good idea, so we're going to leave that idea alone. Mushroom grove, we've done so many mushrooms. Poison pull, a rat's nest, an echo cave or a flooded bone pit, crystal cave. Let's put in a rat nest. I've been wanting to put the rat nest in for a bit. So let's go with a rat nest. What would be a good position for the rat nest? That's the question. We have area 13 and 10 and 5. So 13, 10, and 5. I almost feel like the rat nest might be an interesting thing to include in 10. It could also be in 5, and it also could be in 13. It's a hard choice. Hard choice. I almost feel like any one of those would be perfectly suitable for what we want. 10 feels like a transitional cave near a blocked off entrance. So I feel like that cave in some respects has probably been purposed for something else. And then you have, well, a rat nest doesn't necessarily need to be that big, and 5 is a big area. So let's make it 10. Let's make it area 10. Let's pick that area. And it might be that our ettins are eating the rats in the nest. It probably wouldn't be a particularly good source of food because it wouldn't have enough food there, but a small cave swimming with rats, nest made of rags, bones, and shiny baubles. Okay, so our monsters. Let's just put here swarms of giant rats have made their home in the remains in the remains of the ettins. Dump. It's basically a dump, isn't it? It feels like it's a dump. Ettins. Food dump. Let's put that there. And as to what they do, I don't think I need to even explain what they do. It's just a rat. Giant swarms of giant rats. You decide what you want to do with it. I couldn't care less. Attack, not attack. Probably there as a fight, or really, if anything, like a hiccup, if anything. Okay, so that's 10. Rat nest. So now we need 13 and 5. 13 and 5. I don't want to make this too advanced. I don't feel like these ettins are, or the ettin in here is necessarily going to be advanced and have a forge, although I did have that option if people wanted. So let's find another one. If I think we forget the forge, I forget the goblins. I don't even know if we need to have a goblin cave. Minotaur den, no. Mushroom grove, poison pull. Is it different enough from everything else? A bone pit. We've had so many bone pits. It's not funny. Crystal cavern. It's a nice idea, but is it fitting for the location? Okay. A twisting cavern where sounds echo eerily, faint scratching sounds and distant growls reverberate along the walls. if I would use the echo cave, that could be 5. It's not really 13. It's a long chamber. It has a jar of dead moths in it. It is linked to 6, and it's linked to 7, and it's linked to an entrance. So potentially 5 could be that. Oh, snot. Don't want to suggest. Just stick with the editing for now. Thank you. Okay, so cut. We'll make an echo cave. I don't think anybody's said or suggested anything else. And we'll make that 5. Paste. Here we go. And we'll go here. Bold underline, a twisted cavern where sounds echo eerily, faint scratching sounds and distant growls reverberate along the walls. What is close enough? 6 is a cooking pit, so potentially we've got somebody there. So that would make sense because 5 is close to 6. So that would sort of foreshadow something. And then 7 is a trophy place. We haven't actually put anything in there as such. It doesn't really matter though. Okay, so there is a jar of dead moths. Dead moths. Yeah, tipped onto its side. Yeah. Cave walls. That's good enough. Let's. Oh gosh. All right, find that mouse button. There we go. There we go. Found it. Okay, so we've got a description. It sort of foreshadows some of the stuff that's coming next. There's not a lot going on there, and we've got a bit of treasure. It's probably our first piece of treasure in the entire place. And I have not included a key, but we should certainly consider putting a key in here. I haven't done that. I haven't done this on a live stream and included a key to prove my point, I guess, for a while. Okay, so and then 13. Last location, we've established kind of all the locations. We just need to do a bit more with it. Now it's about building things out and then populating things. So once you've got your location, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Sorry people, just give me a second. My phone is ringing. I am not available. And an unidentified number too, which is not helpful either. Okay, so let's deal with 13. 13. How are we doing for time? We're doing pretty good for time. What can be 13 and what would be interesting? Area 13 is not huge. Okay, so before I do this, I'm going to just check the chat, see if anybody's added anything else, take any ideas you guys have got. Here we go. All right, a room of bones, large bones, picked clean, could be something living in these bones, pile of bones. Okay, so what would you like to put in there? Hello, Jasper. So Jasper is a patron and a subscriber of the channel. Thanks for being here. Super bizarches. What is that? Creatures. Ettin, human, captive, caps. They hate the Ettin, a pair of mated rust monsters. Here we go. A large pit fire for cooking, maybe a large pot. Yes, we could have a large pot. We do have a cooking cave. Plenty of tree trunks, yes, so I can make that happen. I like brown mold for a refrigerated room. Oh, okay. We haven't really done something. Are there any cages? Yes, there is. So we have some places with cages. So there's a lot more ideas coming through here. So I'm going to take a few of those ideas and incorporate them before I do 13. I haven't actually nailed down what 13 is. So you want a place where there are large bones. Something living within the bones. Do you want, I don't know, what do you want to have living within the bones overboard, or Joe? Brown mold. I haven't put brown mold anywhere so far, but I will take a note of brown mold, because brown mold might be a thing that we can incorporate later. I just don't know where. Brown mold. Brown mold is a really interesting hazard. All right, and then next we've got some human. So we want a human captive. I'm essentially we do have a captive. We just don't have some details around it. Ettercaps, rust monsters, living in the bones, large centipede or other large vermin. Okay. Well, a large centipede, so a giant centipede. We can put a giant centipede in some bones, in a bone area. And there's a few of them that are like that. So a giant centipede. Centipede, and then we have ettercaps. I don't know, if I was an ETTIN, I'm not too sure. That I might tolerate the spiders. I'm not sure I would necessarily tolerate the ettercaps. But that's just me. I'm not an ETTIN, so. And then we want a large pot, which we can definitely include into the cooking cave, which I'm pretty sure is, yeah, a large open fire with piles of tree trunks. And branches is nearby. Bones, torn clothing, and half-eaten carcasses littered this cavern. So okay, a large open fire pit has a big iron pot with piles of tree trunks and branches nearby. Okay, I've included that. Cool. Oh, the ETTINs argue with themselves about how to deal with the ettercaps. Oh, okay. But it's too stupid to make a plan. Oh, oh dear. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's keep going with. I think I can work with that. There's a logic to that one. So copy, and we just transfer this over. Okay, so back to our screen here, and I just need to include a few of your ideas as well. Just pick the right locations for them. Where this goes, I'm not too sure. We haven't actually. So far, we haven't actually placed the ETTINs in a particular location. So to give you an idea of the different locations, okay, is so far we have area 1 is the cave entrance. Okay, there's a cave entrance. 2 is a spider cavern. Okay, I mean, I suppose we could say it's a spider nest, a nest of spiders, and then include that. But let's go just nest for now. And then we've got giant spiders hiding, and ETTICAP controls the spiders so that they don't don't create a conflict with ETTINs. Okay, so we have two types of monsters in here in that location. We have the barricaded entrance, which is 3. 4 is a vine cave. We have an assassin vine in there. The echo cave is number 5, and there's a jar of dead moths in this one, and not much else. 6 is a cooking cave. We probably need to have an ETTIN in here, or an NPC. So I'll just put here ETTIN. We don't have a name for the ETTIN, so we'll put an ETTIN of some kind. Is it a female ETTIN? Maybe female ETTIN. Female ETTIN called something. We have area 7 is a trophy cave. Okay, we haven't sort of decided what those trophies are, but we have sort of set it up. 7 as a trophy cave. 8 is the sleeping cave. We probably should have something sleeping here. We haven't decided. The owlbear pit is number 9. So we have an adult owlbear that is sort of kept here, chained up, I believe, if I remember right, based off, yes, it's chained up in this pit. We have 10 is a rat nest. 11 is the shaman's den. So we have an ETTIN shaman here, but we haven't got a name for him or her or whatever. We have the prisoner cave, which has got an NPC human. It's the only thing that people have suggested, but we don't have a name for the human or any information about that NPC. And then 13 has not been established. So we need to nail down 13 as to what is it going to be. So I will do that while you guys are thinking up some other stuff. I have used the ETTICAPs idea. I have not put in the ETTIN arguing stuff because we'll leave it. I will leave that for whatever NPC is going to be wherever. Don't really want a guard post. Goblin cave, no. Collapsed bridge, no. Forge cave, I don't think so. Minotaur den, no. It's too out of place. We've got enough living there in the same location as it is. We just want something that's interesting that might cause some weird problems. What about the poisoned pool? A murky pool emits a foul odor. Bones. Yeah, that's not really what I was looking for. A flooded cave. That would be interesting. I don't think we've done a flooded cave before. Oh no, we have. We did a flooded mine room, didn't we? We had a, was it a mine? It was a flooded mine room. We did one with a crypt that had a flooded room as well. Let's make 13 a flooded cave. That way we can stick something here. Might not be the centipedes, but it could be anything else we want under the sun. Let's go here. So we will make this sort of like it'll be difficult terrain to move through. It'll create some problems. Okay, so yes, let's make that 13. Paste. Flooded cave. And almost immediately, a monster. So we'll go here. Swarms of giant leeches are living below the surface of the water. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Somebody trying to call me again. Alright. I'm going to use my taking a break screen since I've got to get rid of these people. So I will use that. I can't believe I got somebody who's just insisting they're going to call right now. Give me a second. Oh, you're trying to ring me. I'm actually, I'm working. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, either that or if I can have it, then just don't pay me for that day. Won't they? Don't. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just said yes to say no, just to say, because I would like to take a break at some point after after we get the new year into it. Yeah, sure. Okay, thanks, bye. Oh, okay. All right, sorry about that. I have told my workplace that I am not available between 12 and 2 p.m. that I am often working, so do not call me. But yeah, apparently it's about getting paid, so I suppose I should answer that question. Anyway, so we were working on a flooded cave. I've now got hiccups. I don't know why. So we did that. We've got a monster and a treasure. And we've got about half an hour left. I can go a bit longer if we need to. My general feeling is we've got 1, 2 NPCs. Let's do it. I want to do a count up of how many monsters I've stuck in here. I don't want to put too many things in. Like, I don't want to put too many monsters in all at once, if I can help it. I don't want to flood the thing with too many things. So we'll do a sort of a count up. Too many locations with monsters just makes it a bit of a pain. So, hello, Fred Huber. So yes, we've built out most of the locations. We just need to deal with some of the bits and pieces of this. So here we go. Can we have some kind of special ooze or the like? Yeah. If you were to put an ooze, what sort of ooze do you think would be interesting? It forms around the bones, giving it its own skeleton. It becomes like an ooze bone golem. Red slime. How about a red slime golem that once it forms can throw globs of itself to inflict others at range? Yes, sounds good. Can you smack it with a large bone club or slime? So where would that want to be? You want to stick it in there. Cave fisher hangs out there. You want to put a cave fisher rather than leeches. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't think it really matters too much whether it's a cave fisher or it's a leech. I'll just switch out leeches and I'll put cave fishers. Yes. So Fred, what I will do is I'm just going to make a quick alteration and do a count up of all the monsters and give you a quick rundown of the location. But we still have some NPCs we need to fill out. That's sort of, yeah, semi-crazy wizard that the ETTIN tolerated because he could fireball them. He got mad. Oh, you like the leeches? Okay, a swarm of giant leeches. That's all right, no problems. Now we've got to make this red ooze thing. If we're using a red ooze, this red ooze is it a wandering monster? Because we can include a wandering monster that is a red ooze, or we can designate it to a location. My general feeling is it might be one of those things which just moves around a lot. Do you know what I mean? That's sort of where my head is at. So let me just... I need some NPC information. That's what we need. That is our next thing. What NPC names do we have for the ETTINs? And human captive. We've got a human captive apparently. So firing that into the chat, and we'll see how you do, and I will figure out what to do with the next bit. Anyway, so hashtag red ooze skeleton. All right, okay, so let's do it. I'm doing a count up. I'll go through the areas again, and I'm going to do a count up of all my monsters so I know if I've overpopulated it, which can happen sometimes. You don't want to put a monster in every single location or an NPC in every location. It's just not necessary. So first off, cave entrance, narrow opening, bones scattered around, rotting meat. Okay, that's fine. Next, spider nest is area 2. And we've got giant spiders and an ettercap that controls them so they don't wind up fighting with the ETTINs. I might cause a bit of problem. So that's area 2. So that's one monster. The barricaded entrance, there's no monster here, but it is barricaded with boulders and crude stuff. So we've blocked off one entrance, but you could push them out of the way. We probably should have a bit of information on how to do that, like a GM note. So a GM note on how to do something like that. GM notes. If the whole party help move a boulder, they can clear barricade. For those of you who are wondering why I have not included a mechanic like a dice roll, it's because you don't have to have a dice roll for everything. It can be just as simple as you do the right thing, and that would be the most sensible way to deal with that. That's that one. 4 is a vine cave. We've got a monster already in there, so that's 2 monsters out of 4 caves. That's the vine cave, the echo cave. There's no monster there. It's just some stuff you can find. That's fine. The cooking cave. We have an NPC, maybe a female ETTIN. We just don't have a name for her. If she's doing some cooking, maybe it's a male ETTIN that's doing the cooking. We can do it anyway, man. We could have both of them there. Although it might be fun just to separate them a little bit. So how many? I don't want to. Well, it's potentially a fight, isn't it? Potentially, maybe an NPC, but it's also potentially a fight. So we'll mark that down as the 3rd one. In area 6, trophy cave doesn't have anything like a monster, so that's still 3. Sleeping cave. Sleeping cave could have a monster, but we haven't actually stated what that might be. feel like there should be something here. 9 is an owlbear, so the owlbear pit. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far, potentially. Rat nest, that makes 6. So we've got a few. 11 is the shaman's den, and that's potentially an NPC, but also potentially a fight. And then there's no fight in the prisoner's cave, and then we do have the flooded cave, which has got the swarms of giant leeches. So we've got how many potential fights? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8 out of 13. We could add one more and we'd be all right. Okay, so now giant centipede. Somebody wanted to put giant centipede somewhere. So let's take the giant centipede idea and cut that and find an appropriate location for it to sit. Human, no. Somewhere where there is bones litting the floor. Could be in the trophy room. We could add in another one because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of 13. We could get away with doing one more. I just don't want to get too carried away. And not all of these are potentially fights. They could be NPCs. So that's the trophy chamber or cave. I don't want to stick it in with the entrances so much. I want to get them into the cave. I don't want to block them too much. The only one that's going to be a problem is really the entry 2 with the spider nest. The other ones are pretty easy to clear. Echo cave is really not much of going on there. So I think the trophy, this is really where we'll stick our giant centipede monster. Paste a giant centipede. Lives amongst the pile of rusted weapons and feeds on the bone marrow. Bone marrow. And feeds on the flesh and bone marrow. Flesh and feeds on the flesh. Still hanging from there. Decapitated heads. Decapitated heads. Okay. I think that's sorted out that problem. Here we go. Monster. So we don't really need to add any more monsters. We've got enough NPCs and monsters for this location to be of interest. And enough, I think, enough variation going on there. So that's the next thing. Still got some time, which is great. Treasure is not my priority right now, so we will leave that alone. What we will do is we will go through and start dealing with some NPCs because we have to narrow that down. We have to have some names for these NPCs. Otherwise, it's not going to work. While I'm working on that, I think what we need to do is we need to decide why this ETTIN lair is a threat. So you might have noticed we have not established our adventure hooks. And we've got to do something about that. Okay? So let's go back over here, get into chat, and deal with that. I don't want to populate the same location with leeches and cave fishes at the same time. I mean, I suppose you can. There's a lot living in these caves as it is. It's pretty jam-packed. The Ettins are named Larry and his brother Daryl, and his other brother Daryl. Are you kidding me? No, he's not. Daryl and his cousin Daryl. All right. Well, I have a name. I don't know which name I'm going to use. So, do these Ettins only have a first name, no surname? I suppose that makes sense. They probably don't need to have anything else. Sod it. Give me that mouse. My mouse is out of control. There you go. There we go. All right. Paste. Daryl. So we've got a name. Larry. I don't know about Larry. Larry seems a little bit on the nose. Larry might be fine as a name for the human. And then Daryl and his... Okay. NPC names. Henry Fuber. It's not going to happen, Joe. Fuber for short. He's a prisoner. Are we doing that again? No. We've done this. We've played that joke out enough. Each Ettin head has its own name. Oh, I see. Oh my God, that would be... Well, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Each Ettin head has a different name. I don't... Well, you tell me. Did you get the Ettin owlbear trainer who lost a few fingers? No, I didn't. I missed that. I actually completely forgot about the owlbear, and somebody else suggested it. I think it was Dungeons and Chronics suggested it. Let's put that in there. So, I'll snot on this. Why is it doing this? Okay, here we go. Let's try again. Paste. Okay, take that idea. Does the Ettin owlbear trainer have a cap? I don't understand. Why a cap? Does it need to have a cap? No. Chainmail gloves from now on. Chainmail glove. Okay, chainmail glove. I will be wearing. So one of these Ettins has to be wearing a chainmail glove. All right. Sure. Good Lord. Paste. I'm having so many problems. What is going on? There's something weird going on. Oh, it's written in white. How did that happen? Okay. All right. I've had a lot of technical difficulties today. Like my live stream's not in 4K. My mouse is out of control. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. The heads are not decapitated. The bodies are decapitated. Ah. All right. Okay. So that's a... Okay. So I see what you're trying to say. So that as a descriptor, it does make sense. I get that. All right. So I just need to go to the trophy. Sting hanging from the... okay. Everyone seems to be lives off the... lives amongst the pile of rusted weapons and feeds on the flesh still hanging from the heads. Okay, I got it. Oh, man. Local druids are pissed that their favourite owlbear has gone missing. Okay, so that's a... So I need a prompt. Don't I? Hashtag. What are the adventure hooks to get the players' characters to go to the ETTIN Lair? Why are they going to go there? So, and we already have a suggestion. Timmy and Jimmy. Oh my gosh, here we go. We've got some weird names coming. Let me just go here. I'll take that. Timmy and Jimmy. Local. So we'll just drop this into that section, which is the adventure hooks. Paste. So really struggling with the mouse today. It's just not wanting to perform the way it needs to. Probably because everything that I've set up for it is not the same as it used to be. Local druids are, I think we don't need to use the word pissed, are angry that their favourite owlbear has gone missing. Owlbear has gone missing, but have followed its footprints to a cave. I followed its footprints to a cave. Okay, there's one way of dealing with that. If anybody wants to throw out some suggestions for wandering monsters, probably best to work off the wandering monsters we already have. I am all for including an ooze, because oozes are sensible for a wandering monster. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, here we go. The flood of ideas is on its way. So we're going to take that name, Timmy and Jimmy. How do we get Timmy and Jimmy as a name? I don't know. If you can't see what I'm doing right now, it's because I'm doing a lot of cutting and pasting. I can freaking get that thing to work. Oh, frustration. I am not frustrated at you guys. I am frustrated at my computer. I have not had technical issues. It just seems to be today. Today seems to be the day. Okay. Hunters have been not returning home when hunting west of the Shire. Well, we're not going to include the Shire, but the concept though is good enough. That is one way of getting them to a cave. We just need to repurpose that a little bit. Hunters have not been returning home when hunting west of a particular mountain. Particular mountain. But large humanoid footprints have been found. Okay, so we've got to lead them there, don't we? Hunters. When hunting west of footprints. Okay, all right, I got that one. That's 2. Next one. Ooh, okay, I'm not behind. Owlbear trainer has a young owlbear that he is feeding very carefully. I made it an adult owlbear rather than a young owlbear. I put it on a chain, stuck it in a pit. I'll save the prisoner. Yeah, absolutely. Save the prisoner. Recover the jar of moths. So let's go a friend of one of the characters. Let's make it affect them. Characters has been carried off by a two-headed monster and needs to be saved. There we go. If you can, always tie it to your characters. So that's what we'll do. Recover the muffin. Go get your Starbucks muffin today. Let's just drop that in. I'll come back to that. I'm not sure how to rewrite that. Prisoner name. Okay. H. Huber hasn't returned home. No, I'm not using his name. Has been out playing with animated wagons and carts. What? Acquire Etticap silk. Okay, yes. Okay, so that is a little bit different. I don't know how to necessarily write that up. No, I don't like unpronounceable names. I'm not a huge fan. But you give me pronounceable names. See, this is what Fred's doing, is like he's making sure the names I can pronounce, because I have so much trouble with some of the other names that are unpronounceable. Escape the lair, starting... captured. Not a bad idea as an adventure hook. Derp's working pretty well today. He's got some pretty good ideas there. Not saying that all your ideas... I mean, Joe's got a good idea there too, actually. Oh, puss and bugger. Okay, here we go. Paste. The party of characters is captured. It is not, now that I think about it, it is not my favourite thing to have the entire party captured. It's for a very specific problem where, like, essentially everybody dies and you want to just keep moving on. It's one of those things where I've been in situations when the entire party's captured, they've got none of their gear. It is such a shit way to start an adventure. And now I'm just trying to think about whether I want to do this. I will. Okay, the party of characters. I just don't, there's problems with being captured. Having all your party captured is always problematic. Always found it's one of the worst ways to start an adventure I've almost always found. Unless it is the whole party was going to be wiped and you want to just have them all captured. The only time I can think of that it's not so bad. It's captured by Ettins and locked into cages in the monster's lair. Monsters lair. There. They need to escape from. Okay. Escape from before being eaten. Okay, that's I think that's got it. Oh, come on, mouse. Oh, here we go. Yep. All right, I've got that one down. Next, adventure. Make it through the lair, enter through area 1 and 2, exit, and then get to another. Make it through the lair. I don't know what. Yeah, Derp, I'm not quite sure what we're saying here. Yeah, not too sure. I'm not too sure. A rumor has been going around about some wonderful smells coming from the cave. People say the great chef Evander lives there cooking, trying to create the perfect meal. That is an odd adventure hook, but we will include it. That would probably give us 6, and 6 is probably more than enough. More than enough. Paste. How are we doing for time? We're almost there. A rumor has been going around about some wonderful smells coming from a specific cave. People say the great chef Evander lives there cooking what? Lives there trying to cook the perfect meal. Why would they go there? That's the biggest hassle of that one. It's like, why would they do that? So that's a tricky one to deal with. Other head, Gordon. Gordon. Evander and Gordon is jealous. Right, so we've got a few ideas going on here. We're going to wrap it up in a second, people, and I will show you what I have. Going to be a little bit of work. For those of you who are unaware, I have dumped a lot of adventures onto Patreon in the last few weeks. Like, there's a lot of stuff there. Stuff we've worked on before. Some are free too. They're not all patron pay. Derp seems to be saying the ETTIN Lair is a tunnel through a mountain and it's a shortcut. Yeah, I know. I think I kind of get what you're saying. I'm fine with just, yeah, he's right. Okay, I see what you're going up there. I think I'll leave that though. I will look, if they just escape and get out of the cages and go straight to the exit, that's all right too. It's probably a sensible thing to do, particularly if they don't have any equipment with them. Lair is the back door to a dwarven ruined city or dragon. I mean, it can be, but I think I would leave that to a dungeon master to determine rather than for me to write it that way. PCs need to deliver an invitation for the chef to participate in the Great British Cook-Off. Okay, all right, interesting. All right, so I've read everything. I've marked down some stuff. I think we've got enough of all of it. Honestly, I think we've got plenty. There's treasure to be included. There's wandering monsters to deal with, and there's a little bit of stuff to be finished in terms of various bits and pieces. But yeah, so far, this is what we have. So 2 hours, and we have about 6 or 7 adventure hooks. 5 are kind of fully fleshed out. Some are probably better than others. Wandering monsters still need to be done, but I would never worry too much about that sort of stuff. We take monsters that already exist in the caves that could potentially wander around, and we make them a thing. That's really all it is. Main features we haven't really worried about, but it's just a cave. I don't think we need to go into a lot of detail about that. Area 1 is the cave entrance in a mountainside. 2 is a spider nest with an ettercap controlling spiders. 3 is the barricade entrance, vines, echo cave, cooking cave, trophy cave, sleeping cave, owlbear pit, rat nest, shaman's den, prisoner cave, and a flooded cave. So I have taken down all your suggestions, and yeah, Is it enough to get by? Probably needs just a little bit more work, but I'll probably get most of that done if I sit down and nut through that while I'm doing something else. So, yeah. So it's taken us about 2 hours to work through all of that. And in that time, we have managed to determine 13 locations and populate it with various things. So, which isn't too bad, honestly. You know, an ETTIN lair or cave can consist as just like a cave entrance is 1, 2 is a spider nest with giant spiders and ettercap. We'll figure out treasure later for all this stuff. Area 3 is the barricaded entrance with a boulder. We've got 4 is a vine cave full of vines and an assassin vine. 5 is an echo cave with scratches and strange noises, and then we've got a jar of dead moths that you can find in here. 6 is the cooking cave, so we'll have a female ETTIN, I think, we'll put in here with a big fire pit and a big pot and some tree trunks and so forth. 7 is the trophy cave, and we'll put a giant centipede in here living amongst the rusted weapons and so forth, and feeding on the heads that have been sort of set on the wall of this cavern. 8 is the sleeping cave, and we'll put somebody here sleeping. I think we're going to have somebody here sleeping with animal pelts and hides, making up beds and so forth, and some stick figures drawn on the walls. The 9 is the owlbear pit. We'll put an owlbear chained up. It feeds on anybody who gets sort of thrown in there. 10 is the rat nest full of swarms of giant rats, feeding on whatever else that's dumped here. 11 is a shaman's den. We'll have an ETTIN shaman in here. 12 is the prisoner's cave. We'll have a human prisoner here of some such. Some cages here for holding them. 13 is a flooded cave full of swarms of giant leeches, and it'll have to be, I think, probably difficult terrain. So the basics are there. There's a structure, and we did it ourselves. I mean, that's not too bad if you ask me. That's pretty good. And we have a bunch of adventure hooks for it too, which is helpful. So not bad at all. And we are definitely out of time. Yes, Jasper, I am back, and yes, I know I need to work on the lava dungeon that you were working on the other day as well. I just haven't got to it. Do I recognise you as the dungeon master? I don't know. Would I? Anyway, let's finish off this poll. 13 votes. It looks to me, this is probably the first time I've done an ETTIN lair. I've never made a lair specifically for an ETTIN. So have you made an adventure about an ETTIN cave lair for a tabletop role-playing game? No, 46%. I'm probably one of those people. Just watching, 30%. Yes, 23%. So I'm kind of interested. Out of 13 votes, not too bad. So we got it all done. Whew, done. Happy days. Anyway, I got to get out of here, and you got to get out of here as well. So thank you for watching and listening. Thank you to everybody who took part today, took part in the poll in particular, and also in the chat. I want to thank all of my patrons who support me on Patreon. I will put this up onto Patreon as soon as I get it finished. I realize that I now have so many adventures on Patreon as first drafts and 13 unfinished. That's how far behind I am. It's ridiculous how bad it is. I am doing my best to work my way through that backlog, including a lot of other stuff. So yeah, thank you to Jasper, Fred Huber. Huge thank you to Dungeons and Chronics, who was here early on. Really did help. Wizards and Warp Drives, or Nacho. Did I say Derp? Overboard, of course. And I said Jasper. I said Fred Huber. I think that's everybody. I think I've included everybody that was in the chat that was presenting ideas. Huge thank you to those of you in chat who were sharing your ideas. Really does help move things along. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, or the wee early morning. Please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.